Hello everyone and welcome to Top 5 Wrestling Animations of the Week, Week 73. So, I said last week that I may be ending this at the end of the year, but the feedback on that video was really good. So many people were saying, like, don't worry about it, there's no point in, caring about the people who are getting upset, because it is mostly just being competitive, which is good to see. There's nothing wrong with being competitive at all, as long as it still stays fun, which it does seem to be still fun for you guys. That video performed really well considering the size of my channel as well, so yeah, I think I might continue it next year if it continues that way. But getting on to this week, the honourable mentions this week, we have SuplexNetwork with his Panama Sunrise. We have Unstable Animation with his Canadian Destroyer. And we have Wardyz with his Frog Splash. And now moving into the top 5, in 5th place we have ARW with his moves of Seth Rollins. These were mostly smooth, the movements on the stomp itself were awesome, the reactions could have used more on pretty much all of the moves I think, and the sling blade was a little bit stiff throughout, but the Frog Splash looked really nice for the most part. I would have liked to see a reaction on it however, obviously you didn't finish that one, but it looked good up to that point. 4th place this week is once again ARW with his Shooting Star Senton this time. The running looked nice here, but it was maybe a little bit slow. The rotation looked really good, but Enzo should have gotten a bit more height to stop the slight bit of floating that happened just before the impact. The impact itself was really nice and the reaction was simple, but fine. Joint movements were pretty solid throughout and it had a nice flow to it. Third place this week is LMS with his GTS. This had nice joint movements throughout, but it was a little too fast also. It made the movements quite jerky here and there, but other than that it was smooth, it had realistic movements and a decent reaction on it, but I would have liked to actually see the landing rather than it being off screen. There was also a couple of minor shadows and string in the way, but however it was very good overall. 2nd place this week is ARW with his Brainbuster. The flickery lighting and moving background hurt this, which is a shame because the animation itself was solid as always. Crazy joint work is always here, but it seemed a little more realistic than usual except on the reaction, which was still kind of cartoony. Great impact on the Buster, and although the reaction was cartoony on Punk, it still looked really nice to me. I didn't like Strong falling on his back and then Punk landing on him though, that looked a little awkward to me, but overall, very great animation. And 1st place this week we have WZW with his Triple Jump Moonsault. So the running movements were a bit strange at the start. I think Sammy's strides were just a little too short, but everything after that was phenomenal. The jumps all looked spot on, the bounce on the ropes, both when he ran the ropes and when he actually came off the chair, both looked absolutely brilliant. The rope work throughout the whole impact and reaction was also great. The camera movements were really clean, it had a good impact and a good reaction. Joint movements were solid throughout, and I liked the subtle little movements on Joe as he prepared to take the impact. That was just a really nice touch of realism for me, and awesome work overall. And now if we take a look at the leaderboard, is actually quite a few changes this time. In 5th place is now LKS, still on 50 points. He has now been overtaken by 4th place, which is ARW. He's now on 51 points. 3rd place is still SteakTheGuy with 77 points. 2nd place is still WZW Animations, he is now on 126 points. And 1st place, still LMS with 133 points now. That top 2 is just getting closer and closer right at the end of the year. It's awesome to see. Both guys are still performing absolutely fantastically. I'm just very excited to see who's going to win because I really can't call it. So that does it for this week. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.